They're always wondering what you're doing and why because they do nothing. When people are envious of your life, when they are envious and jealous of the things that you have going on, they always want to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. Yes, there are some people who show genuine concern for you. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about your people who are honest, very sincere. They just want to know what you have going on. I'm talking about those people because they have nothing going on for themselves. They inquire about you and then they want an explanation for why you do what you do, all because they're not doing it. These are often your people who love to offer up their unsolicited opinions and advice on your life simply because they want to project their lack of fulfillment because they don't accomplish anything. You see, these people, they always want to know what you're doing and why, and they do that because they're trying to get you to second guess yourself. For haters and jealous, envious people, if they can get you to second guess yourself, then they've won. If they can get you to start doubting the things that you should be doing, the things that you want to do, if they could put a little bit of doubt into your mind, a little bit of fear, a little bit of, I'm not sure if I should be doing this, then for a jealous, envious person, they've succeeded at distracting you. When people inquire about why you're doing what you're doing, not out of concern, but because they want to be nosy and serve as a distraction, these people are the ones that will often offer up their opinion and try to get you to feel as if you're making the wrong decision for your life. So I'll give you a perfect example. Let's say you've been given a wonderful opportunity. You're up for a promotion at your job. You've been trying to get a promotion from your job for a long time, and you finally have that opportunity. Here comes the hater. Here comes the jealous, envious person giving you a list of why it's not going to work out for you. They will say something to the effect of, well, I used to be a manager. I used to be in that position, and it was hard. It was this, it was that, it was this, all the negative things. One of the major red flags, in my opinion, or one of the major signs that you can recognize that somebody is jealous and or envious of the opportunities that you have, when you are in your moment, when you are happy, when you are enjoying that moment and you're happy about whatever opportunity that was presented to you, a jealous, envious person, this is one of the telltale signs, one of the red flags of an envious, jealous person, they will list all of the negative things about the position, the opportunity, the situation that you're about to partake in. A jealous, envious person, they love to run down the list of why things are not going to work out for you. And see, normal human behavior is not that way. Even people who show genuine concern for you, they're not going to run down a long list of everything that could go wrong, things that they hope will go wrong. Because for jealous, envious people, oftentimes they're just waiting for your downfall anyway. So the moment you have something good going on, when you present that to them, they normally will meet you with, well, are you sure? I can't stand that. It's like people who are insecure, jealous, and envious, and they use that against other people, they don't really know how to read situations, or they just don't care. Meaning, they don't know how to read body language. They can see that you're happy, and sometimes they do it because they genuinely are trying to bring you down. It's this old saying that, people try to rain on your parade. Well, sometimes that's what jealous, envious people will do. You are very happy. Somebody just presented you with an opportunity. You just won something, what have you. And that's when they'll swoop in with all of the negative things that could go wrong. They don't think that maybe this is not the right time to say this because she's very excited. She's very happy about this. Maybe I'll wait to another time to kind of just show my concern. And the reason why they don't wait is because they're jealous and envious, and they want to see that light come out of your eyes. They want to see that, that down feeling come over you. They're trying to wipe the smile off of your face and get you to not be as happy about the opportunities and the things that you have presented to you. I have experienced that in my own personal life of, getting a promotion or something worked out for me or something I was trying to do came to fruition. And all of a sudden, somebody comes in with all their negativity and then asking me if I'm sure. To me, it is a telltale sign, a major red flag that somebody is jealous and envious if they can see excitement on your face. They can hear excitement in your voice and then swoop in and ask you, are you sure? And then list all the negative things. Jealous, envious people, they want to demolish your light, your spark, and your zest for life. So when they ask, why are you doing this? And it's something good, oftentimes it's because they don't have anything going for themselves. And because they have not yet experienced true excitement, true joy, maybe things are not working out the way they want them to, they want to take that light from other people. And you see, it's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's not that you're not empathetic to whatever they're going through. But people who like to spread their misery by taking the light, taking the joy from other people, they are jealous and miserable, and normally they can't wait to offer up their opinion to you. I'll give you another example of this. Let's say you're a woman and you're about to get married. You never thought you would get married. You didn't even know if you wanted to get married, but met the right guy. He's great. Things are working out. Here comes your jealous, envious friend, because she's still single, because she's been convinced that I shouldn't even try to get married or love anybody or let anybody in. But you're the kind of woman that decided, you know what? I want to be a wife. She is going to be your biggest hater if she has an insecure mindset when it comes to relationships. She's going to try to convince you things like, well, you know, all men cheat. It's only a matter of time. And unfortunately, this is not far-fetched. Women love to say things like this. They like to project their own failed relationships, their own, unlikability from men onto women who desire to be wives and desire to be in relationships. This is like at a threat level height today, where women are constantly trying to keep women single because they're bitter and miserable. Not saying all single women are miserable. That is not the message. The message is that when people are jealous and envious of a relationship, an opportunity, what have you, they're always trying to convince you that their life and the way they are is the best thing. And normally it's people that are not doing as well as you, and they would like to. So these people, when they're jealous, envious, and insecure, they're always asking you, what are you doing and why? It's amazing how haters, jealous, envious, insecure people, they always feel like they're entitled to an explanation from you. It took me a long time to realize that I don't have to explain my every move, my actions, or the why behind what I'm doing to people who honestly could care less. You ever notice the people who dislike you the most, they normally want all the details on your life? The people who offer you up so much harsh criticism, the people who are often nosy and very intrusive, and they offer up nothing good, but they're around when things go south, things go bad for you, all of a sudden they're around. These are your people who often always want the explanations. It took me a minute to realize that, why do I keep explaining these things to this person? Why do I keep explaining these things to this people? They only come around when things go bad. They only call me, or, they only see me, or they only this when things are negative. Why do I keep explaining my actions and my moves to them? And I can tell you, the older you get as a woman and the more mature you get, the less you feel like explaining yourself to other people. I am not saying that if you have a job and you have to explain yourself to your boss, your manager, what have you. I mean, you decide to do something great with your life. You decide to do something outside the box, maybe something that is not specifically something that people can see you doing. You don't feel the need to explain that to people. And when people get jealous and envious and they start seeing what you're doing as a threat, when they start seeing you differently than what they're used to, they're not comfortable with the more confident, accomplished, or whatever it is, you're changed. Because when you change, sometimes that can make people very insecure, because now they don't know how to receive you. They might be used to you being one way and now you're different, and they're not comfortable with that level of confidence in you. So they want to know why, and are you sure? I can't stand when people try to get me to second guess myself. The only person that I receive those "are you sures" from is my husband, because I know that it's coming from a place of genuine concern if he asks me, am I sure about something? But for most other people, if I've already said I wanted to do something and you can hear it in my voice that I'm comfortable and confident, I don't need somebody constantly asking me, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Because when people have ill intentions, especially if they're jealous, envious of you, they are trying to kind of use psychological tricks to kind of get you to doubt yourself. I truly believe, and I am not a licensed therapist or psychologist, but I just know based on my experiences of how people can be. And I know that people can be successful when they're jealous of you, when they, those red flags are showing that they're envious and jealous of you. They have a way of saying things that make you, if you're not yet confident enough, they can make you feel very unsure of yourself. They can make you second guess your entire life if you're not confident in what you're doing. And again, I'm not talking about people who have a genuine concern, like a mother, a father, maybe they're just looking out for you, friends just looking out for you. As wise women with discernment, I would like to believe that we know the difference. We know when somebody's showing genuine concern, and then we know when people are jealous and envious or trying to be smart and trying to get you to kind of come down a notch off the things that you want to do. So these people, they ask you, what are you doing all the time? They're very nosy. They want to know what you have going on. And then they ask you why. And then on a more like superficial note, when women are jealous and envious of other women, they love to ask other women, why are you so dressed up? Are you going somewhere else after this? Why are you so nice to everybody? Why this? It's like haters and jealous, envious people, they will start asking you the most oddball questions. And you can tell that it's coming from a place of jealousy or envy or just being spiteful, because the questions half the time don't even make sense. They'll say, why are you so dressed up? Why not? As a woman, as a feminine woman, as a woman with confidence, as a person out in public, why would you not want to look your best? I never understand when people ask those kind of questions. Or when somebody asks you, why would you want to work there? You know that's more responsibility. Wise women, women who have, a little bit of intellect, understand that if a woman decides to take a position that gives her more money and she's pursuing that thing, clearly that's what she wants. But in true hater fashion, they like to come through and say, that comes with more responsibility. You know this, you know that, you know this. Most women are very good at considering what they truly want for themselves, especially when they get to a certain age. Concern is great, but the endless, and this is another thing, when people are asking you what you're doing and why out of their jealousy and envy, it's not because they're concerned. It's because they figure if they could have those conversations with you enough, if they can continue to put like little pinpricks of doubt into you, then suddenly you will say, you know what? I thought about you, what you were saying, and I'm not going to pursue that promotion. I'm just going to stay here at the front. I'm just going to stay here at the store. I'm just going to stay here with y'all and just chill, That's what they want. And I know this might sound weird to some people, but when people are jealous and envious sometimes, they prefer you to be basic. They don't want you to be different than everybody else. They want you to settle into mediocrity. They don't want you to be above average. They prefer you just be a worker. They don't want you to be the boss. They don't want you to be the supervisor. They prefer you just to be a worker. They don't want you to own a company or own a business. That's doing too much. Be basic with us. Be regular. We want you to stay regular because that makes us feel more comfortable with you. Don't work from home because that means you get a level of comfort that we don't get. Be basic. And I am not saying that because, and I'm using that as an example, but I'm not saying there's anything with working a 9-to-5 job. None of that is the point. The point is that when you do something outside of the box, People who are jealous and envious of the decisions that you make for your life, they're always going to try to put pinpricks of doubt into you. And they normally do this by asking you consistently, obsessively, what are you doing and why? And it's not so much that what are you doing, it's the why right there. You know, them asking you over and over and over again to why you're doing something. I remember somebody asked me something, and this had been like maybe the third or fourth time they asked me. I forget exactly what it was, but I remember my response was simply because I can. They said, why are you doing this? And I said, because I can. And that was it. You know, sometimes when you're dealing with jealous, envious people who are trying to get you to second guess yourself, to doubt yourself because they're jealous and envious and have nothing going on, sometimes you have to just shut them down with a blanket statement or just avoid them and disregard them altogether. The last thing you need as a woman when you're trying to do better for yourself, when you have so many goals and things that you want to accomplish, when you're trying to better yourself, when you're trying to focus in on the things that are important to you, you don't have time for people to constantly question your moves. It's very annoying. And the only people I accept that from, like I said again, is my husband, you know, and he doesn't ask me much of anything. Like, he trusts my judgment on many things. And I just don't deal with that because that's a hindrance. And I truly believe that when people are jealous and envious and they want to project that fear, that insecurity, you know, they're just upset at seeing you be different. So they're trying to make you feel fear or doubt. I believe that's a hindrance to progress. And that's the way I believe, because I'm a spiritual woman. I believe that the enemy uses people to kind of get in your way when you're trying to pursue your purpose. So these people, they always ask you why you're doing what you're doing. And not just once in a while somebody asks you, fine. But the over and over and over again. Why would you want to do this? Why would you want to do that? Why? Why not? You know? You have to learn how to just leave people on read mode, ignore them, or avoid them when you are in the process of moving forward in your life, leveling up, or just doing better for yourself. You don't need to waste your time explaining things over and over and over again to people who oftentimes are jealous and envious, and they truly don't care what you're doing. They're just trying to get in the way. Like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you watch this video until the very end, put the high heel emoji in the comments section. I absolutely love to see it. Take care.